The best story in football over the last few years demands a little trip. Welcome to Iceland.
It takes a lot to upstage Leo Messi, but if any team is bigger than the little genius, it's Iceland, the smallest country ever to qualify for the World Cup. Cue Bjork.
Group D sees the Viking horde descend on 2014 finalists Argentina, along with a talented Nigeria side. Croatia round off one of the toughest groups.
For most of footballing history, Iceland weren't on anyone's radar. It was known for stuff like this. And this. How could a country of just 350,000 people compete with giants like Germany and Brazil? Well, that's all changed now.
Iceland finally qualified for their first ever major tournament, the 2016 European Championship.
But Iceland didn't just make it to Euro 2016, they were the stars of the show.
A first ever major tournament win against Austria helped them finish above eventual champions Portugal in the group. And they didn't stop there. In the round of 16, they beat the country where football was born.
Even the English had to laugh or cry.
A heavy defeat to eventual finalists France followed. But it was still an astonishing performance on their tournament debut.
So what was it like to go from being nobodies to everyone's favourite team in the blink of an eye? And can they replicate their Euro 2016 form in Russia? I need some Icelandic insight to answer these questions. Over to you.
My name is Kristinn Hallur Jónsson. Well, at Tolvan I'm currently the treasurer. Our mission has always been to make every attendee at the stadium a fan and a supporter. It almost died out by 2012, but Lars Lagerbäck and Heimir Hallgrímsson took over the team and they immediately showed such an interest to involve the fans in the game. And just that first match, friendly against the Faroe Islands, I mean, Heimir came to the bar where we usually meet before the games, and so it was just him and 10 of us, and he said that he would do this before every match and announce the team, talk to the fans, motivate us to motivate the players, and so he's still doing it today. We went to France to enjoy. I mean, we went there for the ride. Just after 10, 15, 20 minutes, you started believing, and that result against Portugal, of course, just some hope skyrocketed. Well, it was great because Ronaldo had said we wouldn't do anything in this tournament. Great way to stuff the sock into his mouth. Well, to beat England was a feeling like no other. Most of us that love football, we grew up with English football. To have that ties with the country and then beat it, it was a unique feeling.
I'm glad someone enjoyed it. So what about the World Cup, Kristinn? How will you and your boys fare in Russia?
Before every tournament I'll go to, I'll always enter with positivity. I'm going to enjoy being at my first World Cup ever. Well, it feels fantastic. I mean, it's kind of maybe the similar feeling to the match against Portugal, playing Ronaldo. But since we could make Ronaldo cry, I guess Messi is next to the menu. Well, I think the strength of the team for me is unity. There's no one link more important than the other. That's how we grew up and that's how kind of we're cultured. So I think it maybe has an effect on how we treat each other. Even if you have success in your field, then you're still just a part of this small island. You're still a part of this small community. Well, I always mention two players. I mean, it's obviously Gylfi Sigurðsson. The Icelandic team is obviously weaker without him. And then the second part is Aron Einar Gunnarsson, the captain. I mean, for me, he's the heart and soul of the team. He is the Icelander, the Viking. Gets them to play as a team. We're creating this atmosphere together. So I think that what goes on in the stands is, represents maybe what's going on the pitch as well. It's that attitude of positivity that I think is kind of unique, maybe not unique, but it's what keeps us ticking and it's actually what makes it fun.
Iceland can definitely expect a cascade of support at the World Cup again. They're the ultimate underdogs. But just as David had Goliath, Iceland face a giant of their own. Or maybe giant's the wrong word. He's more like an elf. We can't talk about Argentina without directing our attention to the man with skills as beautiful as an Icelandic landscape. The man who's had every football fan in his thrall for over a decade, Lionel Messi.
He's won a ludicrous number of trophies at Barca, scored hundreds of glorious goals, and been named the best player in the world 5 times.
But something is still missing from what should be the perfect career: international success.
Messi has often been criticised for his national team performances, perhaps a little harsh considering he's the country's top scorer. But for some people, he won't have usurped Diego Maradona as Argentina's best ever player, unless he wins the World Cup.
And this could be his last chance. Messi turns 31 during this summer's tournament.
Although he's got the talent to continue for many years, who knows if his body will put up with the strain.
And don't forget, he's already quit the national team once. So can Messi win the World Cup at the 4th time of asking?
Let's take a look at his supporting cast.
There are certainly no problems up front. Argentina have 2 of the best strikers in the world.
Sergio Aguero has just wrapped up a 3rd Premier League title, once again banging in the goals for Manchester City. And at Juventus, Gonzalo Higuain has kept up his reputation as one of the deadliest finishers in the game. Unfortunately for Argentina, the rest of the squad isn't anywhere near the same level.
Just look at the goalkeeper.
That a player as bang average as Sergio Romero can rack up more than 90 caps shows how little quality Argentina has between the sticks.
So it's a top-heavy team that will probably need to score a lot of goals to get to the latter stages.
If you need any more proof, just look at their recent match against Spain. Without Messi, they lost 6-1. He'll need them to do much better in Russia.
So we've covered Iceland and Messi's Argentina. But what about the other 2 teams in Group D? Let's start with Nigeria.
First and foremost, they have an absolutely outstanding kit. Just look at it. Gorgeous.
Frankly, I'd like to see them automatically qualify for the final just on account of their shirts. But unfortunately, FIFA rejected my request. So instead, let's have a look at who's filling those shirts.
The Premier League duo of Alex Iwobi and Kelechi Iheanacho are 2 of their exciting young players. They looked like superstars in the making when they exploded onto the scene. They have had a more difficult time of it lately for their clubs.
But they've both produced their best form for the Super Eagles, and a strong World Cup could mark them out as ones to watch for the coming years.
They'll be supported by some more seasoned pros like Chelsea's Victor Moses and his former club teammate John Obi Mikel, the captain of the side.
Having already knocked out African champions Cameroon in the qualifiers, Nigeria are not to be underestimated. That leaves one more country, and it's a team that Iceland have already played in qualification. Croatia actually finished beneath Iceland in the group. They lost to them in that stadium right there, something they'll be looking to rectify at the tournament proper.
And they certainly have the quality to do that, especially in centre midfield. Real Madrid's Luka Modric is the fulcrum of the team, alongside Barcelona's Ivan Rakitic. Add in Real's Mateo Kovacic, and Inter's Marcelo Brozovic.
And they have some serious options in the middle of the park. They also have dangerous attackers in the form of some ex-Bundesliga stars.
Inter winger Ivan Perisic and Juve's bruising frontman Mario Mandzukic.
So who's getting out of this group? Will Iceland's miracle go on? Will Messi's men make it through? Will Nigeria's Super Eaglets soar? Or will Croatia's midfield maestros dominate? I've thought about it long and hard, and here's my prediction.
Who else but Iceland will top a tight table, while Argentina will just about stumble their way through in second. That means we'll be saying a sad goodbye to Croatia and last place Nigeria.
They just have to do it, don't they? They have to make it out of the group. Because with no disrespect to any other team, the World Cup will be a better place as long as Iceland and their phenomenal fans are involved. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and join me next time to break down Group E.